there was a clip that went out of a guy who snuck into the Jake Paul fight and found Logan Paul and asked him for a job. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
It was interesting. So it starts with him crying in the car because Logan didn't give him a job.
Nice.
And then he cuts to, have
What's
you
the
seen it,
guy's
Justin?
name?
I saw a thumbnail from a different YouTuber talking about it.
What's
Okay.
the guy's name?
I don't know the guy's name. He's a 22-year-old. I don't know his name. He's just a guy. And he put it up and Logan did. And Logan was came across rather well, was direct and said no and sort of explained why.
Was it that if I say yes to you, people are going to constantly break into events and harass me?
Well, first off, he said, well, how'd you get in here? You snuck in. You did a sneak in video. No, I didn't. Okay, I did. You know, it's okay. So kind of lied right off the bat. He snuck in. But Logan gave him, I think, more time than he needed to, quite frankly. And the kid said, I quit my job. I quit my job. Okay, so what can you do? I can work hard. I don't need money. Like, what are you good at? I don't know, but like, that's why I'm here. I want to learn. He's like, so like, there's no handouts, he says. Like, I did this. I came out here with my brother, Jake. I didn't know anybody. We did it ourselves. He's like, I'm not looking for a handout. I'm just looking for a job. And it's like, I'll work for free. And without, it's funny. But I do think that there is a prevalent mentality. It's not universal, that exists in relationships and jobs, which I want to put an end to because you're listening. Because I know that good-hearted people have reached out to me with a similar pitch, which is my desperation, desire, and quote unquote willingness to work should be sufficient to get you to mentor me or go on a date with me or something. Mm-hmm. And that is totally backwards. Like this kid quit his job prior to showing up, which I would say, like, as someone who quit his job, is totally stupid. Like, like Logan wasn't going to take you if you didn't quit your, like, what does that demonstrate to Logan? That I want it really bad? He doesn't care how bad you want it. Mm-hmm. Like, and I think it's got problems later in life because it can keep you very focused on other people and not your internal needs. But having read How to Win Friends and Influence People was really important to you and I in our young 20s because it emphasizes that people do not care about what you want. Mm-hmm. The most common persuasion tactic people take is to tell other people what they want. And and you go, oh, I know that. Read the book. It'll blow you away how often you and the people around you try to get what they want by saying what they want to other people.
Yeah, no, I mean, the biggest, just a succinct way to put it is the biggest like leadership and persuasion mind shift that I had when I was younger was to never say I and to only speak in you, mm-hmm. And like, basically when you're saying I, it's only in the way that I can help you. Mm-hmm. And the other thing I think is there's this concept, and I don't know where it came from, that an unskilled person who requires a lot of training mm-hmm. is valuable because they're willing to work for quote unquote free. And I think what people don't realize is, like, if you're someone like Logan Paul or even us who are much smaller, your time is your most valuable resource. And so for you to go unpaid but require training time and management time and effort and energy is a take. It's that, you don't have to pay me in money, you just have to pay me by training me 2 hours a day every day, 5
or
days
even
a week.
Thinking of a job for me to do.
It's like, that's expensive.
Yeah.
That 10 hours to train you a week, or even 5 hours, or even 1 hour. Like, this is expensive.
The amount of money I would pay to not have to train someone, I mean, is I think to a lot of people looking for jobs, you'd be shocked. And Logan, I'm sure, is even higher. Like,
no, coming in with a pre-existing skill. Alex Ramosi, the guy we talked to, I think that was last week, right? That's the number one thing he looks for when he's hiring. He's like, what pre-existing skill do you have? I think there's, and I'm 100% sure I was guilty of this as well when I was younger. Thinking that just because I was quote unquote smart because I'd done well in school and I had gumption and I was willing to work hard and I was willing to be trained made me a valuable asset is just a misconception I think a lot of people have, and that I'm sure that I had.
And I want to, and again, not to pile on, because I think that there's there must be a cultural meme, because this happens a lot. And I think Tim Ferriss is kind of like, reach out to the people you admire, which there's a lack of nuance there.
Shoot your shot. First of all, I'm not saying don't shoot your shot, but just expect to not hear back or to get a no.
Well, what is lacking, I think, from that, as the internet has developed, is a sense like this kid, not to blame him, was only thinking of his own perspective. Like, didn't think, okay, so I show up to Logan's event. how is Logan going to feel? How many times has this happened to Logan? What
does he want to focus on right now?
Yeah.
The fights and his brother or me?
Yeah, and if I was...
That's the worst time to show up.
If I was to do this, like, perhaps like slipping him a note and being like, hey man, you know what I mean? Like, could be a better way of doing it. And if you really sat down and thought through how different his life is and the problems that he's facing and how you might ameliorate those or help with those and have a plan and how common this offer is, you'd approach it very differently. But what it shows is that that kid, totally understandably, was unable to step outside of himself and think, man, if somebody tracked me down at my brother's game and offered to work for me for free, I'd be thrilled. It's right. You have not stepped into his world at all.
I do know people who I know multiple people, just to be clear, who have done this, who have sniper shot a mentor.
Oh yeah.
And it is often, one showed up to an event that they paid to go to. So the guy was giving a speech and he paid to go. And then at the end walked up and gave the guy a book that was based on something he had said on a podcast that showed a lot of, emotional intelligence. And then also didn't ask for anything in return and just kept in touch with him over a period of weeks before eventually asking him if he would work together on something. And then the other one was someone that put together a giant pitch for a project and sent it to someone. And the pitch was for an idea that the recipient thought was terrible, but it was just laid out very well in a way that was impressive to them. And they saw that this person could be a valuable asset day one. So instead of saying, hey, I want you to train me, what I have is free time and gumption. He said, hey, I want to do this project for you. And I've already laid it out in this easy to read slide deck that shows you how I'm going to make you money.
Yeah.
And the guy said, I have no interest in this idea, but I like that unasked, you've put together this thing that shows me I could hire you and day one you could be doing good work for me.
Yep.
And so then he took them on. So I do know multiple people who have hit up multi-millionaire people who do get hit up a lot and they do get the response, but it's never by talking about how much they love them and how hard they're willing to work.
And what it is, it's showing how hard you're willing to work. Because what those people did is put in hours of work with relatively zero guarantee, in fact, a low percentage chance that it would even get looked at. You know, I put together this whole slide deck understanding that it might not ever make it to your eyes. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try to but what a lot of people do is like, I'm willing to hard work, but you have to give me the go ahead first and tell me that it's like, no, like if that kid had shown up with like, I made you this new account on this thing. I've uploaded your videos. I split them out. Like, here's the thing. That could have gone very differently.
You've been copyright striking me and I've been giving you the ad revenue, but I just want you to show you this Logan Shorts channel that I made that has 10 million subscribers. Like, I built this and I haven't been paid for it, but I've been doing work for 3 months and I would like to do it for you now. Otherwise I'm going to stop doing it.
Yeah.
Something like that. Our longest tenured employee, I believe what happened is we were looking for a job for someone who could Photoshop stuff. And we were asked for applications. And what she did was she did the job, right? She did 1 day's worth of the job and said, here's what
1 day's worth. She did 30 minutes worth. It was, which was above and beyond every other applicant. I said, we were looking at the time, I didn't know what social media platform, but I was like, hey, can you make our videos into Instagram posts with the quotes? And people are like, yes, I can. Here's my portfolio. Yes, I can. Here's my portfolio. And she said, yes, I can. I've made, here's 3 examples from your videos. And she grabbed 3 quotes that I'd said and put them in. I was like,
got the job.
Done. Over. Yeah. You know what I mean? Completely over. It wasn't even close. So yeah, she's been with us the longest. Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video and I will see you in the next one.